exciting day. It's an exciting day to bring you product that is, how many of you want something to work now? Like immediate. You don't want to wait maybe a month. Or you don't, yeah, you want it now, right? So that's what these products do. These are products that are going to be able to give you the well-being, the change in how you want to feel immediately. And each time you use them, they're going to continue to do more and more. So I'm going to go into just a few things about how this line is different than any other product out there. So that when people say, oh yeah, I use XYZ, you can say, I know a little bit about XYZ, and this is why the Ariix line is even the better. So I'm going to go into just some information for you and tell you why these oils certified toxic-free is very important. Do you know that many oils, they'll say they're pure, but it doesn't mean that the oils aren't taken out of the plant with some kind of solvent. You know, you got to get the oils out of the peppermint. And so not everybody does it in a really good, clean way. I know. I have seen, I've been there, I watch how they take the oils out of the plant. It's not always good. So toxic-free is a certification that means no solvents, no chemicals, nothing bad is mixed into the oils. No synthetic perfume is mixed into the oil. Only what comes from the plant. So as you look at the difference between high quality, low quality, medium quality, you think about not every crop is going to be absolutely high quality. You know, if you grow anything in your own garden, some of the tomatoes are the best and some of the tomatoes are not so good. Well, the low quality, somebody is buying them. When we don't buy them, guess who buys them? The competitors buy them because they're less expensive. And some companies are more interested in just pure profit than they are first health. So Ariix, number one, your health. Always telling the truth about what's in the products. And make products the very best that can be made so that it can be a business opportunity for you. So low quality and high quality are sometimes mixed together, and that's the average that's out there. And I'll show you some pictures of some plants. I think it just takes a minute. Okay, here's some lavender plants that aren't the very, very best of quality. You can kind of see they're a little brown. You can see that there's not that many full blossoms on the twigs. And so this would be kind of the beginning of the spring or the end of the summer, or if it rained really hard, or if bad winds came along. Any number of things could cause a crop to not be good. So these are examples of not so good crops. But the farmer wants to still sell those, so sometimes a company doesn't go look at the fields. They don't see if it's quality or not. So they'll smell and they'll go, well, it's maybe not so good. And the farmer will say, that's just this year's crop. Nothing we can do. And so what you see here is a distillation. How you make oils is you take all the plant and you put it inside this furnace. And you have a fire, and the fire boils the water, and the hot water comes up and it breaks down the leaf or the flower petal, and out comes the oil. And so that's the distillation process. That's what's done when you don't use solvents or chemicals. And that's distillation. You can see the water, you can see the the fire underneath the water, and then how the oil comes out the other side. This is an example of the kind of lavender from France that I purchased for the Ariix line. So when we started doing this project this summer, we already knew there were buyers buying up the French lavender. So I didn't have my staff, I personally picked up the phone and I said, I need the very, very, very best lavender. Is there any left? I hoped there would be some left. Yeah, there's plenty. I said, how could there be plenty? And I named different competitions' names. Aren't they out there buying this lavender? No. They wanted something that wasn't as expensive as this lavender. So we have the good lavender left for you. So this is an example of the distillery. And you can see a big pile of the blossoms. So unlike here, where the twigs are hanging, are there not slides up? Oh, they are, okay. The twigs, so when you buy poor quality lavender, you get all of the stems. Here, in your lavender, you only get the picked blossoms that are laying on the floor before they're going to go in the furnace. So this is high quality lavender. And it needs to be picked at the exact time of day. It needs to be picked late in the day. Not in the morning, not in the afternoon. It needs to be picked just like you see in the picture. Those are the details that go into every single essential oil. I buy from people that are in the fields, that are seeing what's there, so that only we're getting the quality. Now, how are most essential oil blends created? Well, a lot of companies will say, X company is very successful, so let's just copy their blends. Let's just copy them. We'll use the same ingredients and maybe put in one thing different. So when you copy something, you don't have any creative energy that goes into it. You don't have any thought. You don't have any heart. You just copy. Sometimes the copying's even done by a machine. Chromography that tries to match an oil. Not the Ariix brand. Not. The PRIIME products are based on traditional Chinese medicine. Why? Why would that be important? Because traditional Chinese medicine is one of the most important medicines that the world is yet to learn about. Right? Right? Not only is traditional Chinese medicine based on the 5 elements, so it's important to take and make every blend have each of the elements in it, and some blends to be focused on just one element. Like we've got one that's mostly just fire. Some, like calm, needs a balance. And when you do a balance, you want all 5 of the elements to be considered. So one of the things that's important in traditional Chinese medicine is that just like how herbs are studied and the power of that herb, the power of extracting from it, is based on various health principles. The very same thing with these oils. So we're looking for how to take a whole family of oils and put them together and have them be synergistic. How do you take 13 or 15 oils and put them together and not have them compete with each other? It's like taking a bunch of you. You're all very, very powerful. If you're not put together with an understanding of the hierarchy of who's to play what role, then there could be discord, there could be fighting. So one of the things that we do with the traditional Chinese medicine was we examined it. I've actually been studying traditional Chinese medicine for about 20 years because I think it's so important. So I used the past knowledge and then applied it even more to what's the problems we have today. Like Deanna had that great orchestrated dance, and dancers, you did a beautiful job, about how stressed we all are. And so you have to respect what's happening to people and then how to fix it. So we didn't just make oils based on, oh, this will sell or that will sell. Instead, we looked at what would be the most concerning problems that you'd want to have a new product line solve. And how did we put these together? Well, like I was saying, if you have 2 very, very powerful oils, or 3 or 4, and you don't put them together right, they clash. They fight. And when you smell something that's not smooth, you smell it and there's just something off. So when you smell these oils, it's like one harmony. It's like one song. And that's incredibly important. And so the emperor from traditional Chinese medicine is the one leader that directs the potency and the direction of this herb. So every blend has an emperor. Every blend has 1 to 2, sometimes even 3 ministers. A minister's job is to support the leader, focus the direction. Because lavender can do many things, but the ministers take and help support lavender in having the one purpose we want it to have in the blend calm. Then you've got assistants. So in traditional Chinese medicine, a lot of herbs are used as assistants, sometimes to take away a harshness of an herb, or sometimes to boost it up and make it all the more important. So I hope you're seeing the tremendous amount of thought and love and heart that's going into each and every oil based on, 2,500 years that this science has been known. And so then you look at one more, the messenger. Which organ in the body do we most want to treat? Well, it's the organ that's known through traditional Chinese medicine to have the greatest disharmony. And so, again, the blends are put together with brilliance to support every single one of those functions. So let's go into some specifics here with each of the 4 blends. So calm, that's the one with your pink label on it. That's the one we sprayed into the room. The emperor is lavender. Lavender is like an aromatherapy rescue remedy. It just rescues. It also is wonderful at helping break patterns. Sometimes the reason why we have stress is we keep doing the same old thing over and over again. And so to break that pattern, these oils go right up your nose and start affecting your brain. There's an endocrine system, a piano keyboard right here in the front of the brain. And so that's where patterns lock us into doing the same kind of thing. If running late causes you stress, it's a habit, and you keep doing it, and you keep having stress. So that's part of what this whole blend is achieving. The minister is neroli. Neroli is this wonderful blossom on these trees in Italy. But these blossoms are very expensive because the liquor industry likes the fruit. But you don't get the fruit if you pick the blossom. So there's kind of this little battle between Campari, which is an after-dinner drink, and some other liquors that like the neroli, but the fragrance industry also likes it for perfume. Well, I like it for your essential oils because neroli is uplifting almost instantly. If you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're crying, you can take some of this oil and just put a tiny bit on, or a little bit on your heart. And a lot of times, you'll have a change of attitude. And that change of attitude will help you not feel sad. The assistant valerian, do you know that valerian actually, there's a drug the pharmaceutical industry made called Valium. Anybody heard of Valium? Valium? Okay, we don't have too many drug addicts in the audience. Valerian is a root, and what it does is really help you sleep or relax. So this is also a good oil to put on before you go to bed at night. You might want to put a little bit on the temples, again a little bit on the chest. You could put a little bit on the back of the neck. You always can take and put any oil on the bottom of the feet. Matter of fact, on the bottoms of the feet is the best place to put the oils for a child or for a baby. This is an excellent oil for a baby, and you just put it on the bottoms of their feet. So last but not least in this one is the messenger. So the messenger is going to take and direct this oil to the heart. If we don't have harmony, if we're sad, if we're stressed, the heart and the Chae energy needs to be restored in the heart. It also helps reduce tension and stress in the brain, and it enhances faith, trust, and love, and all that is roses. Do you know how many roses it takes to make one little bottle of oil? Probably takes if every single one of you was a rose, all of you would go into making this much oil. That's how precious rose oil is. So the next one that I want to share with you in more detail is ice. Like Deanna was pointing out and covered, ice is for pain. So you can take ice and put it directly on the skin, and you can massage the skin. You can massage, so wherever you're sore, or you have a sore knee, or you have a sore back, you can just take and put ice right on that spot, and it'll start feeling better. The good news about ice is that it lasts for hours and hours and hours. If you have pain all over your body, put it on the bottoms of your feet. You can also take the coconut oil, and you can take a little bit of coconut oil and a little bit of the ice, and you can mix it together and then cover the whole back or do the whole legs. So you can dilute it down and still get a very good effect. The important oils that went together to make ice are birch. Birch is the emperor. He's the king of this blend. And the emperor, birch, is trees. These are beautiful trees with white bark. And so the birch oil is an analgesic. It actually helps take away and numb the pain. Sometimes you have to numb the pain or use an analgesic to get the inflammation to go down. By the way, all of the oils work in harmony with your nutrition products, so that while you're using the nutrition and changing your body's structure from the inside, the oils are helping move things along at a faster pace. Another one of the important oils in this is peppermint. Peppermint is cooling, so when you've got pain, it's hot, and peppermint cools it down. Now you can also take ice and use it on not only the back of the neck, but on the very top. Sometimes when we have pain in our body, you put it on the top of the head and the bottoms of the feet, and it just works everything in between. And I was going to change colors for each of the oils so that as I talked about each one, I had a different color scarf. So the other one is the Minister, that's wintergreen. Wintergreen comes in gum, and there's wintergreen candies. So wintergreen is an oil that is sweet smelling, but it's also very powerful, analgesic, and to reduce pain. And then the Messenger is camphor. Camphor's a known pain reliever. So this even works on the chest when you start to get a cold, although we've got one even more specific for that. But don't limit any oil. If you love that oil, carry it with you. And do you know one of the fastest ways to start a conversation with someone is to ask, how are you? Hi, how are you? And they go, oh, I'm having a terrible day. Or, I don't feel good. Or my hip hurts. You know how people will quickly tell you all those kinds of things? And in your bag, you can have 4 little oils. And you can say, I have something that might help you right away. Would you like to put on some one of these oils? So how many of you know people that when you say, hi, how are you, they tell you a problem that they have? Do you know people like that? Nobody raised their hand. I'm going to ask the question again. Do you know when you say, hi, how are you, what do people often say? They say, oh, hi, but they say a problem. And when they say a problem, like, oh, my head hurts, or, oh, I'm so mad, I didn't catch the bus this morning on time, or something, you can immediately, with 4 oils, go to any one of those oils and be able to say, try this. And then it's an opportunity while they're putting it on is to talk to them about Ariix and to talk to them about why you're in Ariix. So I love the ice. It works. Then another blend is Escape. So Escape is like all the colors in the scarf. It's all the different moods that we can have. When we're sad, when we're nervous, when we're shut down, mood is one of the oils that can help you change. Sometimes the change happens by just choosing to use it. So when we put together this blend for you, we chose to do this blend based on what stops us from being happy. And it's congestion, and it's toxins. So if we've got a headache, it's toxins. If we've got a stomach ache, sometimes it's toxins or nerves. If we've got a bad mood, sometimes it's toxins. So we made this blend to eliminate and to change all those things so that we used an emperor and a minister and assistants and messengers again. And in this particular case, helichrysum. Helichrysum, we buy our helichrysum from Russia. Fabulous helichrysum. And we get our Roman chamomile from the United States. We get our spearmint from the United States. Always the first cutting. Always the first leaves. And then frankincense. So very, very powerful. Smells wonderful. Last but not least, I get to talk a minute about the Century Blend. How many of you like cinnamon and clove and spices? Yeah? Do you know that cinnamon was first discovered in China, and it was part of the initial trade? Silk and cinnamon were the 2 things that was most sought after in the Orient. It was a very precious, precious oil. And so it's the oil that represents fire. And the fire is what burns out infection. So what would be a good way to use this? Well, I had a little tiny pimple start on my face from spending so many hours on an airplane. I took a tiny bit, I put it right on the pimple. Got a little hot, but the pimple went away. It was like it went away the next day, so I used it a tiny bit. You need it inside, because when you start to get a cold or the flu, achoo, 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 you're sneezing, or any of that. I see people wear masks here. Masks in the Japanese airport, masks in the Hong Kong airport. And when I would see that, I think people are concerned about bacteria and infection. So you start to get a cold, you put some oil, and you put it right on your chest or on a sore throat. Or what's even more wonderful is to take a little pot of honey, and with a little pot of honey, I add some of the oil to it. I stir it up, and this is a great way to give to a little child. So your child comes home from school or starts to cough, you just take the honey and let him suck it off the stick. So good. How about you pass some around? There's a few sticks, and a few people in the front could have some down there. Take the sticks and go down there. No, go to the people. Yeah. So take sticks and then you pass them around to some people. Okay. Who likes chocolate? Chocolate. No. Okay, stay there. So let me show you. Another way to take this cinnamon oil is you take one drop and you put it on chocolate. I have 3 volunteers, one from Russia, one from Japan. No. Already pre-decided. Yes, thank you. And I have somebody from Japan, and then I have China and Japan. Okay, I'm going to put oil and let you try. It's going to be hot. So then you take and eat the whole chocolate.
Thank you.
Hi. So then you get to eat that. And then you say, do you like it? You like it? Okay, very good. Thank you. So, all at once, all in your mouth at once. Here, you can have a bite.
Thank you.
Another good way to give the oil to a child, and it's a wonderful way to, after dinner, have some dark chocolate and some of the oil for your whole body's health and well-being and to boost your immune system. Last but not least, I just want to say how important this coconut oil is. This coconut oil I like for lots and lots of reasons. It makes your brain think fast. It's fuel for your brain. This coconut oil makes you think better, faster, immediately. I like to put it in my coffee and stir up my coffee. It makes coffee taste better. Sometimes during the day, I just need energy, and I just take the oil, put it in my mouth, and now I think faster, and I think better. So, thank you very much. Thank you. So one of the things I want to just close with is how important it is in your Ariix family to be able to go out and start taking care of people, and how important is it for people to immediately notice something. It's very important, right? So it's with lots of love and lots of care to bring you products different from what anybody else has, that's better than what anybody else has, that will absolutely make you feel happier, make you stronger, a better immune system, and to take away your pain. So enjoy your PRIIME products and share them with the world. Everybody, let everybody know about them. Woo!